Right Time Gaming!
See what you talking about, man? See what you doing here, bruh?
You said you here to play games.
You here to play games, huh?
You can only play games if you're in the right place with the right time.
Yo, it's the right time for games. Yo, it's the right time for games. Featuring games such as Flesh and Blood TCG and SRG SuperShowTheGame.com. This is Right Time Gaming.
Hello and welcome, folks. It is me, Right Time Kinderline, here for Right Time Gaming, and what is D-Spirits is what we're here to talk about. But before we get into that, I just want to say a big shout out to everyone in New Zealand who's probably going through lockdown, much like I am. We've just got through our first week here in Auckland, and we've been told we're at least another week, which, you know, who knows if that's going to be longer or not. But, yeah. There's been a lot of downtime, you might say, in the last week. Facebook has been really making me reminisce about what I had been doing at this time of the year over the last, 5 to 10 years. For instance, Great Southern Slam 2014 was around about this time. Also, of course, normally I would be heading off to Gen Con about now. So I'm going to have a Gen Con here for myself. Of course, Gen Con, for those who don't know, is where I discovered SRG Universe Super Show, became the first, one half of the first Tornado Tag Champions. Shout out to my boy Phil and the KSW worldwide, baby. But one of my favourite things about Gen Con, much how I found Super Show, is just coming across new games and new developers and trying new stuff out. That is one of the coolest things about going to a convention like Gen Con, just getting to try new things. With the lockdown being the way it is, obviously conventions are not on my horizon for a little bit. So next best thing to finding new games at a convention, I went down the Kickstarter rabbit hole. That's right, of course, as you've seen in the last couple of videos, I've started playing some MetaZoo, which again was a TCG that came to us via the Kickstarter model, then sort of blew up, and is currently in the next big thing at the moment. And so I was like, oh, you know what, let's have a look what else is on Kickstarter, what might pique my interest. And that, my friends, it's how I discovered D-Spirit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the video. I'm going to go through the Kickstarter a little bit and just, give my thoughts and what grabbed me about the Kickstarter. And the nice thing about this is that the Kickstarter is still going. It's still got about 23 days of recording this. It's already smashing its goals. It's almost 200k, I think, the last time I checked before started recording this. So really, it is it has reached its stretch goals already. So the creator Sterling Cartoons frantically trying to come up with new and exciting stretch goals as well. So what we're going to do, without further ado, let's have a look at what at D-Spirits and see what you think about it. Of course, straight off the bat, the look of it, very reminiscent of that sort of late 90s, early 2000s Saturday morning cartoon, or weekday afternoon cartoon, as it may be here. Very cute characters, of course. There's going to be a lot of comparison to Pokemon, to Digimon, that sort of stuff. D-Spirits stand for Digital Spirits, so again, there's going to be the comparison there, but I definitely feel like these guys have got a different vibe, a different attitude. But anyway, let's have a look at the pitch video, basically, and I'll give you my reactions on it and what I think, and you can see it for yourself. So let's pull it up and hit play and see how we go. There's the main character, one of the main characters, Gayu.
Hey, dummy, over here.
Love this guy.
Well, it's about time. We've been waiting for you. Yep, me and my friends know all about you. Who am I, you ask? I'm Neville, and I'm a D-Spirit. But you can call us Dope Spirits. We're supernatural ghosts trapped within these cards. And we need you to help set us free.
There you go. Sort of interesting concept straight from the get go. I love the attitude of Neffel there. Very cool. And I think there's a lot of tongue in cheek in that. Like definitely about the character creation and stuff. You'll see as we go down. I'm gonna scroll through and show you a little bit more of the Kickstarter and see what you think. So let's just pull it up here. So, now here's one of the cool things. I'll play this as well. So, one of the stretch goals was if they got to 100k, then we're going to get the original singer of the original Pokemon song to record the sing song for D-Spirits. And here's a little shout out video from him. Look at this.
What's up, party people? Jason Page here. That's right. Gotta catch 'em all. Jason Page, singer of the OG Pokemon theme song, here to wish D-Spirits an incredible congratulations on meeting their Kickstarter goals in 3 days. Yes.
I love
Keep it going and they meet
I love how
their
hyped this guy is.
Jason Page will produce and perform the theme song for the D-Spirits. Gotta meet those goals, guys. Congratulations, D-Spirits. You're rocking the spot. Yes.
That's so cool. How hyped is that guy? Great. I mean, and that's what you want. You want people hyped about the project, and of course, again, it's gonna play into the nostalgia of the Pokemon thing, but why not, right? Why not? That is partly your target audience. Partly your target audience is people who remember Pokemon who now have kids. I want to sort of share like that sort of vibe with them, as well as just people who like cool characters, like a cool card game. And it is a card game. It's not just a trading. It's not just collectible cards. There is actually a card game involved. So the official card game can be played between 2 or 4 players, 30 to 40 minutes, all ages. The D-Spirits game features over 160 characters, each with game-bending abilities. The D-Spirits game is meant to be fast-paced, strategic, and was designed to not be based heavily on luck or lucky draws like many other card games. Oh, that's a dig. Almost every D-Spirit has something to contribute in the battle. In this game, you can win using your favorites, and that is a big point. One of the things that I'm notorious for in card games is that I like to play with the characters that are like not necessarily the best characters, and sometimes it does mean playing with lesser tier decks, but in order to play with your favorites. Whereas in this, they are aiming it so that no character is going to be trying to balance it so all characters are going to be helpful. Welcome, detectives. I guess this is what they're calling you, whether it be a caster or something, and this is a detective, to the world of D-Spirits. So what are D-Spirits? Legend says they were once all-powerful beings that wreaked havoc across the lands. A scientist supreme invented a way to seal these creatures by trapping them within digital cards. Now their spirits can be called upon and aid you and your friends in battle. Like Mooncapper here. What a cool... I just love... Again, I love the designs of these cards. D-Spirits come in all arrays of shapes and sizes. As a detective, it's your job to hunt them all down and discover which D-Spirits will aid you best in your journey into battle. There are scary D-Spirits like Gangurt. No. That is so cool. I love that. Cute D-Spirits like Fairy Bite. Isn't that cute? A little, sort of... rabbit crossed with a Jigglypuff almost. Mischievous D-Sprites like Niffle, who we've already seen earlier. I think obviously this is going to be one of the main D-Spirits in the game, and also probably the corresponding anime. And courageous D-Spirits like Gaio, of course, the lion spirit here. Very cool. Below will be information as well as an animated game tutorial on how the D-Spirits game is played. However, keep in mind that while the core fundamentals remain unchanged, this rule set is based on past sample iteration of the card game. I'm not going to play this there. If you're interested, I will link the Kickstarter page as well as the official how to play guide. It's actually very cool. So Sterling Cartoons, who is the guy creating this. He's also an animator. He did the artwork, he did the animation, and that's why I feel really good about supporting this, because like he's not going to have to be at the whims of other artists and stuff like that. He's actually a creator himself, and he really has a passion for these characters in this world, and it really has fleshed it out quite a bit, as you'll see as we go forward. Here are some more of the cards. Again, this cool sort of full art type card. You very, again, cartoony, using full art. So apparently in the game, so you have D-Spirits. And this is an interesting thing about the gameplay. So you have a D-Spirits deck, and then you have what they call like spells and signals and signs deck. So in your D-Spirits deck, you can have up to, I think it's 15 or 20 D-Spirits, which are the creatures. But the nice thing about it is you can only have one of any particular D-Spirit in it. So that is cool, because it means that you're not going to have to be chasing like play sets of the most popular cards. You're only going to need one if you want to play it, which is cool. Also, it does mean that there's a lot of changeability in your deck, because, of course, it's all one-offs. Again, if you've ever played any game with a Highlander variant or something like that, but making a cohesive deck where you don't have multiples of the same good card is actually quite a bit of the fun of deck building, which is kind of cool. Then in the second deck, I believe it's 10 to 15 cards of spells and signs, and these help you do stuff. It's like your counter spells, your summoning spells, traps, stuff like that. Basic card playing stuff. The interesting thing about this isn't a one-off, so you can have multiple copies of the same spell and stuff. But the interesting thing about the deck is that you have your D-Spirits deck and you have your sign and signals deck. At the start of the game, you pull up 7 cards, but you get to choose. You can either take 5 D-Spirits and 2 signals and spells, or 3 and 4, 4 and 3, depending on how you've built your deck. And then at the start of your turn, when you draw, you can choose to draw from your signals and side deck, or choose to draw from your D-Spirits deck, depending on how the cards have fallen, which is kind of cool. There's no mana per se, or auras or anything, so you don't have to play out to play it. So everything can you can get your dudes out pretty quickly and stuff like that. Again, which leads to the fast pace part of the game. The other thing, there's a third deck, which is basically a sideboard. But the interesting thing about the side, I think it's called a side deck in this, is that there are certain spells, and I think maybe even some D-Spirits themselves, that can reference your side deck and reference pulling out like tokens or multiple creatures from your side deck. So that's a way of getting some of these creatures to have multiple of them on the field, which is kind of cool, and it leads to again a bit more strategy and a little bit more versatility in deck building and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. Like Rantum here, who some D-Spirits even have the ability that can be triggered from the side deck too, which is cool. I believe he brings out other versions of himself. He's a beastie cyborg, which is kind of cool. There's a field. Again, I'm not really going to go into gameplay here because I'll let you guys look at it, but So the thing about D-Spirits, they have done, they did sort of a pre-sample list, and as you can see here, we have the 2 cards. This was like the pre-sealed, and this is like the updated version of it, which is kind of cool. So it has been in production for a little bit. They did sort of a test run, and they're adapting it and making it better for the Kickstarter, which is cool. And of course, the Kickstarter is going to have that all-important exclusive Kickstarter token on it. So if you get it on the Kickstarter, your cards will be extra special, and then when they go into first edition production of the game, you have something that's a little bit more exclusive and stuff, which is cool. Excuse me, gotta get my iced coffee in to keep going with these D-Spirits. Again, it's quite nice. They're sort of just the evolution of how they're doing it, like the constellation type look of the spells there, which is kind of cool. And we'll just see. Here's some more of the character stuff. That's very cool. breakdown of the cards and stuff like that. Now here are the rewards. So you can jump on board with just for like $100. It gets you one booster box, a rule book, and the rare box topper. The booster pack's going to come in with 4 different designs there. Very cool. Here's some more card examples of the characters. Just look how cool some of these cards are. Punch Bunny, love it. Witcheroo, very cool. Butthawks, yeah. So as you can see, there's a little bit of adult humor in there as well. So it's pretty funny. There's some cute stuff. Dark rares. So again, some link for the collectors to look out for. Kickstarter box toppers. Apparently, there'll be 10 different box toppers. One of each of these. None of them are more rare than the other, but there will be 10, so it'll be harder to get. Now these are the two main characters. You've got Damien and Arthurus, and yeah, that's really cool. So Damien is the sort of main protagonist. Arthurus is the main antagonist, I guess. Excuse me for not knowing the exact terminology, but yeah, it's very cool. And the cool thing about this is, as I said, Sterling Cartoons is an animator himself, and he's got a whole world for this. And one of the stretch goals was, if they got to 100k, they'd actually make animated series. There we go, one that was. Look at how that is a Kickstarter exclusive. Very cool, dude. Now the rewards. So we've got the box topper tier. Sorry. The one booster tier that gets you one booster box, 2 booster boxes and the starters, 3 booster boxes, 2 starters, and then the biggie, which I think is all sold out, but it comes with like plushies, 8 boxes, some exclusive stuff. It all looks very cool. And of course, this is one of the things about these spirits is it's not just a card game; it's a full on. Basically, brand, basically. Sorry, excuse me. Pardon me, winter here. So they've got the cards, they've got the plushies. They want to do an animated show, and so yeah, it's very cool. It's something that I think if you have. If you have that sort of nostalgia for those, as I said, late 90s, early 2000s Saturday morning cartoons, or you're a collector of card games like myself, like I love playing card games. The actual card game itself looks kind of cool. It looks a bit different, and that's what I'm always looking for if I'm going to start a new card game. Is the mechanics different? Are they trying to do something? Let's give it a go and see how they look. And so that's what's grabbed me. So I have jumped on and pledge for this. If you want to jump on, you can jump on Kickstarter. As I said, about 23 days to go. There's a Discord, and Sterling Comics is very active in the Discord, so you can ask him questions and stuff about the characters, about the game, about the Kickstarter. He's been very responsive, which is a great sign. He's really wanting to connect with the fans. So that's very cool. So that is D-Spirits. That is a Kickstarter. That is the rabbit hole that I fell down earlier in the week. What do you think? Let me know in the comments if you think you got to check it out, or if you think it's just whatever, maybe you just think it's a ripoff of Pokemon, maybe it looks too kiddie for you, maybe you really like that style. I personally, I like the tongue-in-cheek of it. There's a bunch of creatures in there that are based on food as well, like there's a pizza, knuckle slice, there's a hamburger as well. That's a creature which is kind of cool. So I'm down. I've put in my pledge. I am going to be getting some. So if come December when the stuff arrives, you want to try it out and you're in Auckland, hit me up. I will show you how the game plays. Or if you want to be an early adopter and you don't want to miss out. I mean, we saw what happened with MetaZoo boxes. We saw how much MetaZoo Kickstarter boxes are going for. This is your possibility to be on the ground floor and get something that may go to the moon. It may not, and there's no guarantee. But better to be in it than be disappointed that you missed out and you're watching from the sidelines after it's too late. Anyway, as always, folks, stay safe. If you're in lockdown, I hope it's going well. I hope you're staying sane. And remember, as always, wash your damn hands.